Hey everybody, today I'm going to be taking a look at a case from Thermaltake. This is the Tower 100. It is a mini tower style PC case. In fact, the only motherboard it supports is mini ITX. So if that's a form factor and this is a case you're thinking about buying, stick around. I'm going to do a quick teardown. I'll do a build in it, and then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts and opinions on this case. A couple of specifications you should be aware of before you start. It comes pre-installed with 220mm case fans. One in the rear, one in the top. It also supports 120mm AIO if you choose to go that route. The front I/O panel includes two USB 3.0 ports and one USB-C port if your motherboard supports that. Also has a microphone and headphone jack. The maximum GPU length that it can support is 330 millimeters. The maximum CPU heatsink, if you choose to go air cooling, is 190 millimeters, and the maximum power supply length it will support is 180 millimeters. So again, let's go ahead and get started. We'll do just a quick teardown of this, and I'll show you what my experience was with it. Top cover here, you just push down. It's just got a couple of latches, comes up, and piece comes off. And most of these have filter material on them. So in the top there, you get some wire ties. It actually comes with a piezoelectric speaker, should you care to use that. Screws. You get some covers for around the PCI slot. I'll show you those in a minute. And then to get this top cover off, there are 5 screws you need to undo. The cover comes off. This piece is plastic. Alright, so once that's off, there's just 4 screws holding the back cover on, and magnetic filter, of course. Take that off, and that has one of the installed 120mm fans. There is a bracket here. This is part of the storage solution, and this will hold 3.5-inch drives and 2.5-inch drives. However, to use this though, you have to remove that fan. So I will not be using any of the storage options on this bracket. Just kind of lifts off and comes out. These side panels, they're just kind of hooked in, so you just want to lift them and they just come right off. Nice and easy. Each of these has a magnetic filter. Pretty nice touch, pretty well done, as you would expect. And we'll just go around, and all 3 side panels removed the same way. Just lift up and off. If you flip it on its side carefully, there's 3 screws here. Just remove those, and then these lower pieces come off. And again, everything's nicely filtered with magnetic filters. And those just all 3 come off. And the power supply bracket, and that's where we will begin, is install the power supply. These are the 2.5-inch drive sleds, just a single screw, and they just pop out. There's 2 of them here. All right, now the system does disassemble further. This bracket, the back bracket, this filter comes out. There's a filter here. And that's about as far as we need to get it in order to start. Well, there you have it. There is the PC build in the Thermaltake Tower 100. Overall, my impressions of this case are very positive. It's an easy case to work with. It was easy to strip down. It was easy to get all the components installed: motherboard, video card, power supply, SSD. Cable management, as always, and even on a smaller form factor case like this, bit of a challenge. But the good news is there's ample room in this case to, route cables, reroute cables. It's easy to work with. There were no major obstacles that I ran into that weren't easily overcome. So the only recommendation I would make is consider putting in an AIO in this case. Not necessarily for thermal reasons. The basic testing I did out of this, I got comparable results to any of the other cases that I've worked in. And so, if you put higher performance gear in here, thermals could be an issue. But this air cooler, even though I love it, I really like the look of that, it leaves a little bit of a gap here at the top, just above that, where an AIO would fit. And I just think it might fill it in a little bit better and make it look a little nicer. And so I think I'm going to consider replacing this and putting the AIO in there, even though I hadn't planned on doing that. But just, you know, something to think about. Anyways, if this is an aesthetic, this case, the Tower series is something that you like and you're considering something like this, this was my first ITX case. Love it. I think it's great. And so, anyways, I really don't have anything negative to say about it other than just consider putting an AIO in. Anyways, that's it for today. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer those to the best of my ability. If I missed something that was important for you, I'll be watching those. All right, thanks. Have a good day.